Hey, today I would like to talk about New World, or more specifically about news that some people already know, but New World is actually ending their support. So the game is being shifted into maintenance mode, and here is what developers have to say. New World has just passed 4 years since its launch and we've built an incredible community. However, we've reached the point where it's no longer sustainable to continue developing new content. We regret to announce that the Nighthaven update will serve as the final content release for the game and PC consoles. Thank you for sharing Aeternum with us and making this game something truly special. Now, the first and foremost, Nighthaven was a huge success. That expansion is great and I'm having fun with it. A lot of people are saying that New World is dead, and they might be right, they might be wrong. When I first read this announcement and figured out what's going on for the first time, I was kind of sad, but a couple of days passed by and here is my outlook on it. Okay, I've made a couple of notes, so let's just go through this and I'll try to give you my own best opinions about what is going on and what is the actual future for the New World. So the first and foremost, while New World probably is ending, as of now, developers there said that they will keep the server running for at least 2026, and whenever there is going to be a shift about an ending game support, there will be at least 6 months prior announcement. Translated means we have guaranteed about 14 months left at least of New World, which is plenty of time to go play the game and experience all that it has to offer, at least in the newest expansion, which I would recommend everybody to play because that expansion is great and those are some best environments I've ever seen in an MMO. It's important to know that there is like a whole lot of hate for developers, but it's not their fault. The executives are to blame for this, and the devs are paying the price. The game could have been handled much better from the very start. From the business standpoint, this is understandable. The game was never making them a lot of money. If anything, they tried to sell Rise of the Hungry Earth expansion, and a lot of people review bombed the game because they dared to ask like $30 for an expansion to a video game. Now, everybody who knows anything about MMOs, they know that like this is not sustainable at all. And you cannot expect MMO to be free. This one was basically free for 4 years. It never made any money. It was always in the minus, right? So Amazon finally switched the lifeline off. From the business standpoint, again, understandable. From a player standpoint, this sucks, right? For me, as somebody who played New World casually and enjoyed the environment, enjoyed the story, enjoyed the exploration, it's whatever. I still have over a year to experience it and then probably just uninstall the game and be done with it. I do, however, feel bad for people who had New World as their own quote-unquote main MMO, maybe something as World of Warcraft is for me, You have always players who treat their MMO as their quote-unquote main MMO, something that they play daily, something that they enjoy, and these people are losing their virtual home, and this always sucks. Especially for these people, they probably won't find solace in the fact that they can still play for like 1 more year. Because in the end of the day, it's just gonna end, and this is not something you wanna hear about your MMO. Like, I would probably quit World of Warcraft if Blizzard said something similar, right? This is about 10,000 to 20,000 people who will be left without their main game. Like, we know these numbers because these were the numbers in between expansions that were stably pooling New World, which was roughly about 10,000, but then they released on console about last year, so my estimate would be about 20,000 active players will lose their MMO, and this sucks. But don't hold a grudge against developers, right? It's not their fault. They tried their best and they created something that was unique in this day and age. The MMO that was actually fun and kind of derived of your traditional World of Warcraft clone formula. I have some notes about what is happening with the game, so unless you are aware, what they did with release of Nighthaven, which was huge success, it like tripled the numbers of peak players, and there were queues to log in into servers, etc., because people liked it. They also gave Rise of the Hungry Earth expansion free to all PC players. Now, this wasn't relevant for console players, because console players just buy the game and had the Rise of the Hungry Earth there already. But this was huge, especially for people who complained that, you know, they are locking mounts and more levels behind paywall, and it was gone. The Nighthaven was great, but a couple of days later, and we learned about this announcement. So what we know now is that their intention is to keep servers operating through 2026, but as I said, the core player base, they will not be happy with it. So at least some people will be able to experience the game. As I said before, they will provide at least 6-month notice before making any changes to impact their ability to keep the Aeternum running. But there will be no new content, and there will be like no holiday events, nothing like that. It's just literally maintenance mode, life support mode. What I find kind of interesting and kind of hungry from Amazon side is that first, they are not giving any refunds. The only refunds that you can do are, you know, your classical Steam refunds or similar. They are not refunding anything. And you can still buy the game, and you can still buy currency in the cash shop, which I would advise against. Like Amazon, they are shutting your game down. Don't give them money. Right? What they are keeping is some seasonal events will continue, some world bosses will continue, some bonus weeks, but there will be no holiday events and no new content. And this is basically where we are left off with. So think about it what you will. As I said, I was incredibly sad, but then I realized I still have about a year, so I will continue to stream my journey through Nighthaven. We will discover the whole story, we will discover the whole zone, explore the new world in a last blast, and we will see where this will be going. You know, if, and this is a huge if, but if Amazon wanted to be a little bit more user-friendly, what they could do is turn it into single player, like RPG. Just turn off all the server things and just leave people to play it solo, or maybe like with friends on peer-to-peer basis. I don't know, something like that. But that's probably not going to happen, because that would require additional work, and they actually fired all their developers. Which means not only New World is now on hiatus, but also all of the MMOs that they have in preparation are now dead. So that Lord of the Rings MMO, nah, forget it. That's not gonna happen. I've also seen speculations about what this means for things like Throne and Liberty and Lost Ark, but you need to realize that there is a difference between Amazon Games as a studio and Amazon Games as a publisher. As a publisher, they are perfectly fine to keep publishing the Lost Ark and Throne and Liberty, because developers of those games are still fine. You know, they are based somewhere in Korea, and they are just keeping their game, and Amazon is basically just a storefront for the Western world. And if Amazon decides like they don't want them anymore, all that these developers need to do is to just find another publisher. I hope it's Gameforge or Kakao, because they would deserve it. But hey, I'm not gonna dive there. Let's not put any vitriol into this. But yeah, this is basically my outlook about New World, what is happening, and it is kind of sad. But realistically, everybody could see this coming. I am personally surprised they were holding the game for this long. And you can look at this from two sides, right? You can be angry at Amazon and like, yeah, they are killing games, whatever, and it sucks, and be basically all negative about it. Or you can think to yourself, we have had 4 years of something amazing, because there were amazing moments with New World and we enjoyed it. It gave us something, and nobody can take this away. Games rise and die. Just remember Wildstar? Literally same fate. Some MMOs kept running despite all the odds. Some MMOs died. Is the life. This is a hard market. MMOs are not very profitable for most companies that are running them. unless there is some heavy pay to win or similar stuff. But if you have MMO that is as fair as New World, yeah, we didn't know how good we have it, huh? But this is all I wanted to talk about today. Now if you want more gaming content, check out my channel. We are streaming there quite often. We're putting up shorts, videos, all of that. So go check that out, and thanks for watching.